C10.
Oh, yeah, start it from this one. Good morning from Canada.
Good morning.
Live from Oshawa, Ontario, the heart of Canada. This is where my parents live. It's actually where I grew up. And Nellie and I are here visiting because a couple days ago, it was my grandmother's 97th birthday.
Big one.
So we're very happy that she's still with us. And she is mentally pretty fit, but physically it's a little bit hit or miss. So we're come back to give my parents a hand with her for about 3 weeks. We'll be here for a little while.
Longer than that.
Yeah, no, is it?
Like a month and a half.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks. Sorry. But I've got 1 week that I actually won't be here, heading to Iceland to do a bit of work on a workshop. But what we're going to do right now is set up this live stream on the other computer beside us.
Oh, we don't want that.
And just kill the sound, essentially. Yeah, okay. So that we can see your chat messages coming through, because the second half of this live is going to be dedicated towards a Q&A. Yesterday, I put out on Instagram that we would try and take like last minute questions, I guess. So I don't do Q&As very often, but I know that it is a really good way to communicate with people who are interested in our nomadic lifestyle and the fact that we travel all the time. And we got a number of really good questions. So I've got the phone here. We've also got our Tim Hortons cups, which you can't see, which is unfortunate. They're just right here in front of us. They're very, very Canadian.
And you guys are, you know Tim Hortons and love it, leave us a comment.
Yeah, it's actually not Tim Hortons coffee in the cup, though. It's espresso that we made downstairs.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so, but yeah, repping the Canadian Tim Hortons. There's actually a Canadian leaf on there, too. But both of us are really happy to be here. It's beautiful weather right now in Canada. And
absolutely. It's a good time to be here. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. And you've been here a couple times before, right?
Yeah, I think it's like the third or fourth time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Repping the European here back home in the dirty schwa.
I really like Canada. If it was for me, like we would come more often, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Greg just doesn't want
to. Yeah, it's far away. Let's leave it at that. But yeah, tell them a little bit about the next sort of couple weeks here in Canada, and then we'll jump into our actual travel plans, further once we leave here for the rest of the year, because we've left Europe now for the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. It's exciting times. Yeah, where do you want to start? What's up?
Well, here in Oshawa, the heartland of Ontario, also known as the dirty schwa, is where my parents live. So they're moving, they're retiring, and on top of the fact that it's my grandmother's 97th birthday, we're here to help them move house. Yeah,
so that's important, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll be moving the whole entire house to the lake. Is it Lake Huron?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which we've also been to, Greg and I, on a vacation, but yeah, not very recently. So that's going to be nice, and we'll probably stay there for a couple of weeks and yeah, enjoy the sunshine a little bit. And then after that, Greg is going to Mongolia, right?
Right. First I'm going to Iceland, but then coming back, going to the lake, and then going to Mongolia. Right. And we'll jump into that for a minute. I just want to say hello to a couple of people that have jumped into this chat. Specifically to Michael Steigner. I believe that's how I pronounce your last name. But thanks for purchasing the course, man. You're the latest one to jump on board for the introduction to YouTube for video creators. So very cool. Good on ya. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Charlie Maurer, Che Baluto. Awesome to see you here, man. That's great.
Michael Ball.
Yeah. Hey, and Darren Meredith as well. Some Traverse 19 representing.
Great. Yeah.
Michael Ball. What a man. Yeah, so the Canadian coffee, hey, it's actually not Tim Hortons. If you're just joining in now, this is espresso we made this morning.
It's cheating. Yeah, we're cheating.
Love the cup, though. Gotta love the cup representing. So yeah, what's happening? We're out of Europe for 6 months. Can you believe it? Like, the strangest thing, as soon as I got my permanent residency to Germany, it's like, peace, we're out of here.
Let's hope they don't hear that.
Yeah, right. I hope my immigration manager is not watching this video. I doubt they are, but still. Very, very exciting to be on the road for 6 months. We're basically planned until almost Christmas, which is really nice as content creators and nomadic travelers to have at least a bit of a schedule to follow. I know a lot of you in the comments are professional travelers essentially, and you can understand our lifestyle.
Yeah, but at the same time, we also have a lot of room still in between, I think. Like maybe not the next couple of months. They're relatively scheduled, I guess. But after that, we have a rough plan, which we are going to talk about in a minute. But we do still want to figure out like the more concrete plans and where we want to go exactly. And that's nice too, like for me at least, to have a bit of a still freedom or still space to fill
in between the jobs. Yeah, exactly. The beauty of being your own boss and running a freelance business is that there's a lot of freedom, and you can kind of develop your schedule, I guess, around what you feel comfortable and confident doing versus having freedom and time off to explore and travel more. And that's one of the reasons that I do this, run this business, is for the freedom. We got some German people in the chat as well. That's really nice to see representing. Deutschland, very cool. And the Italian trip abroad.
Awesome.
Whoa, big hugs from Spain. Ah, very cool.
Spain, Italy, Texas, awesome. Yeah.
Welcome all. So we're in Canada. Can you believe it? Live from Canada in Oshawa, Ontario, where my parents live for the next couple of days. And summer is in full swing here. And we've got, I think, about 6 days before I head off to Iceland for a job with Thomas Heaton. I'll be documenting a photography workshop, which we're going to touch on a little bit here of like the travel plans and what's coming up next. Yeah. Because we're leaving for 6 months, it's like, okay, well, where are you going? What are you doing for those 6 months? Charlie Maurer, who's in the chat right now, is going to join us in Mongolia. I'll be going to Mongolia for a BBS adventure photography workshop. And then I believe Charlie too is coming down to Bali, where we're going to reunite in September. No, August, middle of August. So essentially,
but the workshop starts in September.
Yeah, the video retreat workshop starts in September. But this lifestyle, you don't make money consistently, so you have to have some sort of plan as to where the money's going to come in from. If it's passive income with the online course or affiliate links, or if it's through stock photography or stock videography, trying to build that passive income is nice, because we do have these gaps in between real jobs.
Yeah.
But again,
that being said, we're also still working on that, building that passive income. It's not like we're there yet. Yeah. It was also a very interesting topic last week at the Traverse event. We talked about that a lot, how to generate passive income and about affiliate links. So I think both of us have a really nice to-do list here right now for Canada for the next couple of weeks that we want to work on taking away from the Traverse conference. And everybody who's been at that conference probably feels the same way. So
lots to do, big to-do list. Charlie Maurer says he'll bring mate to Mongolia and Bali. I'll bring Tim Hortons coffee, man.
Or at least the cup.
Yeah, nice. That's great.
Put mate in it.
So we wanted to start this live, sort of explaining where we're going and how that all came about. And then we're going to switch to more of a Q&A at the end. It's only going to be about 45 minutes. We're going to keep it short and simple and to the point. So keep your eye on the chat and see what's happening there. Interact with the other people. I know a lot of you know each other, which is really cool. We've got Tony, who's just joined, and I got your email, Tony. I'm going to reply to you soon. Sajan from India. Very, very cool. We got somebody, welcome home from Nova Scotia. Pat McDonald. What a Canadian name. My goodness. Yeah, it'd be like Bob McKenzie. But yeah, Pat McDonald, welcome to the chat. Tell me about the next 6 months. What's happening?
So after Canada, I guess. We've already talked about Canada. Mm-hmm. So by the end of July, Greg and I are going to split up because Greg is flying to Mongolia to reunite with Brendan Benson on a photography workshop.
And where are you going?
I am going to New York City for the first time ever. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm still looking for recommendations in case anybody has been to New York City.
I think Anna, who just joined the chat, Anastasia, has probably been to New York.
Yes,
so.
Yeah. And I have talked to a couple of people, but still, I know that it can be very overwhelming if you go for the first time. And I only have maybe 2 or 3 days in New York City and then a couple of days outside of New York City visiting a friend. So it's not that much time, but still, I want to make the most out of it. And then after that, I'm flying to the other side of the world, literally, the longest flight probably so far. I'm flying to Sydney and then to the Gold Coast, so Australia, to visit another friend of mine, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to that flight. I think it's going to be a long one.
Casa Chiesi, who I believe is Nazim, I'm not sure if I remember your first name, says, I grew up in New York. Can you believe?
Wow.
So I grew up in Toronto, in Oshawa, where we are now, just outside of Toronto. And I've never been to New York City. Never, not once. I've been to New York State, but not to New York City.
Yeah.
Hectic. So you're going to see New York before I will.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's good. We're in constant competition now.
We're not. It's just Greg competing against me the whole entire time. I don't care. But I would have loved to go to Mongolia. So maybe.
Yeah, but Australia will be great. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's pretty cool that, again, we have this freedom with the Life Nomadic. Nellie runs her own business, and she's got consistent clients that you're able to do work for wherever you are in the world. Whereas I still really focus on campaigns and assignments. The phone is ringing.
Yeah, we should probably shut
that down. Oh, see if you can just pick it up real quick. The beauty of being live. Just turn it off, essentially. That's the beauty of going live in your parents' house. They still have an actual home phone. But I don't think they're going to get one in the new house where they're retiring to. No, they've decided that they're not going to have a landline anymore, which is very normal to all of us here in this chat. Sabrina, nice. Hello.
Awesome.
Guten Tag. So cool that you're coming. Yeah, scouting locations for you in NYC.
Sabrina told me they're going like this on next week.
Oh, wicked. That's very cool. So if you've been to New York City, be sure to send Nellie any like tips or advice.
Like blog posts, advice, videos. I want to see everything.
Yeah, How Meets World. You were just in New York City. Awesome. So lots of people have been to New York, which is cool. Phil Ammon. What's up, dude? I hope that you can take that photography job that we talked about yesterday. Welcome to the chat. Very, very cool. Yeah, remember, guys, take a look in that chat because I think a lot of you know each other. So say what up. We're from all over the world right now, which is really, really cool. But yeah, so you're going to New York, then you're going to Australia. Yeah. I'll be in Mongolia at that time, assisting Brendan with the adventure photography workshop. Yeah. We're then going to meet together again in Bali in late August, and we'll be scouting the first ever video and photo retreat, which is a BBS squad trip, which starts September 1st to the 10th. We're going to be scouting that for the last 10 days of
scouting
August.
Locations for filming and photos, and I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, so if you know anything about Bali too, throw that in the comments. I've already done a lot of research, and I'm pretty certain I've got a good plan and idea as for where to go. And also, Rob Lloyd is in Bali right now.
Friend of ours.
Yeah, it's Rob Lloyd is a Canadian travel blogger. His blog is called Stop Having a Boring Life. The acronym is SHABL. Really, really cool dude, and he's been in Bali for like over a month. And he's going to be there when we get there, so I'll be asking him a whole bunch. But if you've been to Bali, spam me because I know that you know the good places to go.
Especially for the photo locations and video photo locations, that would be great.
Talking about that, Jordan Hammond at Traverse is a really good landscape photographer, and he lives in Bali with his girlfriend. So I reached out to him as well and asked him if we could get some photo locations, and he said of course. So that's where this community is so good.
Definitely.
You know, all of you guys who are watching right now, you're world travelers, you're really, really on top of things, you know, probably digital nomads. Some of you are definitely you know, well-trodden nomads. So the more information we can share between one another, the better. But yeah, I think Bali's going to be cool. We're staying in Bali for a while.
Yeah.
The entire month of September.
Getting a tip here from Philip.
From Ammon.
Get a scooter. That's a great one. Yeah, we should do that.
Oh yeah, I've heard the driving's a little hectic, but we'll probably be renting mopeds or whatever they're called, Vespas. Yeah, most likely. Easier to get around. But yeah, we're in Bali for a whole month, which is really cool. It means I have to start losing weight.
He's also been saying that for about 2 months. Hasn't really happened
I'm trying to get my summer fitness, you know, slowly but surely.
Yeah, very slowly.
So yeah, Bali for a whole month. And then in October, we are trying to do a couple different trips through Indonesia.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say earlier, is that we still have a lot of room. We want to stay in Asia for probably the rest of the year. But we don't really know where to go yet. We have figured out that we should probably not go to Thailand and Vietnam in October because it's wet season, monsoon season, and that would just not be very pleasant. There'd be like mosquitoes and rain and
clouds.
So we have also thought, because I really want to go to Japan this year, and I think you do too.
I do want to go to Japan. I've never been to Japan.
Yeah, and I think the longer we wait on that, the colder it will get in Japan, especially in like December. And so our thoughts right now are to go in October. So after Bali, we would fly to Japan, and then from there go. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at the comments. Sorry. Yeah, I'm like half listening to you and half reading the comments. You guys are awesome. Really, really fun. But yeah, hello to all of you that have joined, and for those that are in this, it's amazing. Yeah, the Timmy's Cup, man. That's what it's all about. I bought this yesterday only for this video. So shout out to the Canadians there. Oh, we got a hello from India again. That's awesome. Second one. Very cool. Yeah, so what's that? October. Japan, Indonesia. There's a company called True Travels that just got acquired by G Adventures. And G Adventures is a company that I used to work for as a tour leader. And we're still pretty close. So when I found out that they had acquired True Travels, I met the CEO of True Travels at ITB. And he essentially gave us like an open door to come on any of their tours. And be able to create content and have free travel and free accommodation. We probably won't get paid, which isn't that nice, but I am still tempted to do a couple of their trips because it will be such good content for this channel. And that'll probably be in November. Because October, I am doing another trip with Brendan that you're not going to come on that one, but you might still come to that destination.
Possibly,
Any guesses in the comments where that is? We've got Iceland, Mongolia, Bali, and then the fourth one in October. I've been trying to kind of train for it a little bit. Let's see if anybody
anyone is on it even.
Michael Ball, are you coming to London for WTM? Sadly not, dude. No. That's WTM falls kind of in the 2 months that I like to try and take off. You just gotta make
WTM be in a different month. Like, who wants to be in London in November?
Who wants to be in Berlin in March?
Exactly.
Yeah, I always find the weather for WTM and ITB to be absolute shit. So, yeah, but no, sadly, we're not coming to WTM. 3 people just
scored in the comments.
Aha, nice, good, yes. Charlie Maurer, you got it. You're winning for sure. And Justin Miller. Justin Miller from Florida. Awesome, dude. Welcome. Yeah, Galapagos would be sweet, but it's not. So we're going to Nepal. But yes, Michael Ball. Sorry, dude. We're not going to be at WTM, sadly. Nor will we be at Borderless Live, which is happening in September. If you guys don't know what Borderless Live is, be sure to go and check that out on Traverse Events. Just search that on Google and you'll see it. These guys are doing some amazing things in the travel content creator influencer industry. And yeah, they're doing Borderless Live, and then I'm sure you'll be at WTM. But sadly, we won't be at either of those because we have to work, have to make money.
And we have to stay in the sunshine,
and
too.
Yeah, keep traveling the world, get tans, get fit, look good, have fun. I should really work in marketing.
Yeah, really.
Oh, yeah, so what's happening in November? So November is when you're going to start getting the better weather in Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam. So we're actually thinking about kind of holding off on Southeast Asia until November, December, and then do that typical Indo-China encompassed trip where you've got those 4 main countries, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and that'll again probably happen in November or December. We haven't decided yet if we want to spend Christmas abroad.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, haven't done that for like 4 years. We've either had Christmas with Nellie's family in Germany or with my family here in Canada.
Yeah.
So if any of you have ever spent Christmas away from home, let us know what it was like.
Where that was.
Were you on your own? What were you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Steve says we have to come to the West Coast. The West Coast of where? Of North America, of Canada, of the US?
Probably,
is anybody in the chat going to Borderless Live? I bet there are. I bet Darren Meredith is probably going. Sabrina and Cash. Michael Ball, I hope. Phil will probably be there. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to Borderless. It's a fantastic time in London, September. It's at the Tobacco Docks, which is a fantastic venue. So very, very cool.
Go to Chiang Mai, Thailand, November. Experience the Lantern Festival. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen pictures of that.
Who put that one out there? Sayantan from India. Yeah, thank you, man. That's a really, really good point.
Yeah.
We should definitely do that.
That'd be beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, the Italian trip abroad is going to Borderless. Awesome. You guys were super fun, by the way. It's awesome to see you here in the chat. Really, really good time. And Trentino, our Trentino videos are up too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yours is the Live the Italian Way.
I have to. Yeah.
That first one was really good though.
Thanks.
Nellie's been kind of playing around recently with sharing her YouTube videos on Facebook, like just uploading the whole video. Because as you know, Facebook is notoriously shit at sharing YouTube videos. So we've been trying to play with this idea of just uploading the entire video onto Facebook, and it's got a lot of better traffic.
Yeah, it does. Like, it's surprising, especially the 3-minute one, the short one. I did like one long one and one short one, and the short one just was amazing, the engagement. And I think that probably has to do with Facebook pushing it. But yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah, Facebook loves the videos. Darren says some great videos from Trentino. Thanks, Darren, man. It was really cool to see you there too, buddy. What do we got? I don't want to jump into the Q&A just yet. I keep on looking at the comments. It's terrible. I want to focus more on this.
You guys would love Borneo.
Borneo, yeah. Borneo is part of Malaysia, but a separate sort of island. That's where the orangutans are.
How far away is that from?
From Indo, it's not that far. I mean, we could probably fly to Malaysia, probably fly right to Borneo, actually.
How are flight prices anyway?
I have no idea.
Know?
Yeah.
What are flight prices within Indonesia and Asia?
Southeast Asia, internal flights.
Yeah.
We haven't even looked.
No.
I actually haven't even looked.
It'd be good to know.
Yeah, Michael Ball says Brunei and Indo. Absolutely, dude. I want to see more of like Flores and the Gillies and Komodo. You know, the idea with True Travels is actually to do like a sailing adventure through eastern Indonesia, possibly all the way to Timor. So that's kind of bucket list for me.
Okay.
Yeah. There's islands and palm trees.
So
you'll like it. Nellie is also known as
Pineapple.
Little Miss Sunshine. If you give her,
I'm sure you've never heard that.
Sun and a beach, she'll be happy. So, but yeah, we've never been to Southeast Asia. It's kind of crazy. Like I'm getting closer to 100 countries, and I still have never been to Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, South Korea, Japan, Taiwan. I haven't been to any of these places. So it's really exciting.
We should still stay till after Christmas. We need more time.
We probably will. There's really only one job lined up for me in January, which I still haven't got the 100% go ahead on. But so up until December, we're relatively booked. But from January onwards, it's a wide open world. So we'll see what happens.
Someone's just commenting that Air Asia is cheap and easy to fly with. So
yeah,
that's
standard.
A really good one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Darren Meredith, 100 countries and not been to New York City. That's correct. Luckily for me, New York's not a country. So do we plan on going to Peru? Maybe in the next 2 years. Maybe. I've got a plan to go to Patagonia and Bolivia next year in April. And Bolivia is right beside Peru.
And I still haven't been to South America, which is terrible.
But yeah.
I don't know how many times you've been, but.
Yeah, so I've been to South America a number of times, as you guys know. I've now been to every country in South America. Nellie still hasn't been, but you have been to Central America. We did a lot of Central last year.
And I also haven't been because I feel like I need more time for that. I don't want to just go for a month. I need more.
Jorge says hello from Portugal. Muito obrigado, cara. Bom dia. Very cool. So again, for those who are just joining the live session, good morning from Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. We are at my parents' house. Live on YouTube for the first time in a few months. And it's very, very cool to see the amount of people that are watching right now and in the chat from all over the world.
Almost overwhelming. I love it.
Hello from Germany as well. Guten Tag. That's great. Welcome. And yeah, we're here for the next couple of weeks. We just spent the first 20 minutes of this live going over why we're here. It's my grandmother's 97th birthday just 2 days ago. Yeah. So we're celebrating with her. And then my parents are retiring and they're moving house. So this house that we're in right now is the house I grew up in, and they've been living here for 32 years, and they're moving.
Very sentimental.
It's very sentimental for sure. It's important that we're here to support them and to help them with the big move. They're both retiring, so that's what we're doing here. And my parents are moving to Lake Huron, which is about 3 hours from Toronto. Beautiful little cottage area in Ontario, and we'll be helping them move in early July, before hitting the road and leaving both Canada and Europe for 6 months.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been talking about sort of for the last 25 minutes. And for the second half of this Q&A, live session, I want to turn it into a Q&A.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. So you can start, I guess, commenting your questions, and we start with the ones that have been submitted to us via Instagram.
Right, which is really cool. Yesterday,
for future lives, if you do want to submit your questions, do that on, I think Instagram is the best way to do that, or even in like the Facebook comment or something. But that way we have a better overview of things that you guys want to know.
We've got a video call in from Indianapolis. Very cool. Right on. And Wisconsin. Nice. Okay, right on. We got some Americans in the house. That's great. Cool. Good morning from your northern neighbor. So let's jump into the Q&A. We got a couple of good questions. Did you want to jump on any of these exactly?
You have looked at them. I haven't. So maybe you will pick one that you've looked at.
Yeah, so I got a really technical question from a guy named Ryan Liao, and it's about gimbals and operating gimbals. And the specific question is about the Ronin S, which I don't own. So he asked if I have any specific tips or tricks on operating the Ronin S. And the Ronin S, like any other gimbal for Micro Four Thirds or mirrorless cameras or even DSLRs, they all operate on a very similar format, and that is a 3-axis stabilization, which is your tilt, your roll, and your pitch or yaw. And if you can find the perfect balance point of your camera and lens setup on any gimbal that has 3-axis stabilization, you should be able to really do a lot of unique movements that allow you to get really cool perspectives on your scene or your composition without having to sacrifice too much. And what I mean by that is the gimbal position is kind of what you guys have all seen, where you're holding it at the bottom and the camera's up here on the top. But then you can move it sort of sideways like this and come around, or even get down low and get a really cool perspective sort of looking up. And all of those just take time and practice. So if you have a gimbal, I know Charlie Maurer, who's in the comments right now, uses a gimbal a lot. And we've talked about different kind of movements that you can do, but it just takes practice, really.
Yeah.
So long-winded answer.
We actually get
Go Raptors! Go Raptors! Yes, congratulations to the Toronto Raptors, the first Canadian basketball team and only Canadian basketball team right now to ever win the NBA championships. There was a huge parade in Toronto 2 days ago.
Someone's asking if we went to the parade. We didn't, but Greg got surprised by the parade in the car trying to drive through Toronto, so not a good idea.
Yesterday, I dropped off my Canon lenses to get repaired at the official Canon repair place here in Ontario. And at the same time, there was a huge Raptors parade going on, so that took a bit longer than I expected. But we're going to jump into the Q&A. So we got another one. Did you try the DJI Osmo Pocket for vlogging? Yes, but I didn't put it on YouTube. My buddy Paul Dow, who's part of the Traverse team, had the DJI Osmo Pocket at Traverse in Trentino, and we were talking a lot about if it's good for vlogging. I think it is. I think it's very good for vlogging if you can set up the audio properly. So I believe that you can get maybe an external mic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's possible to get a small little external mic set up and then a little dead cat for the wind to stop wind noise. And I think then it would be absolutely perfect for vlogging. So great question. Keep your questions coming in the chat, guys. Hello from Darren Spoonley, my Irish friend. Hello, how are you doing, Darren? Nice to see you in the chat.
Someone also asked us on the Q&A if we have planned our Irish trip yet. That's you.
Darren.
Doesn't surprise me.
Too good.
No, we haven't.
Not yet. No plans to go to Ireland. I would love to go to Scotland to see Wadger Catcher Dodger. And if we do go to Scotland sometime next year, we'll definitely come to Ireland as well.
Maybe even to England.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Ooh, Chris Boogly from Switzerland.
I really liked your questions. They were great.
What's the hardest challenge you have overcome, Nellie Winter? Probably dating me on a daily basis.
Yeah, every single day. Starting my own business, I guess, but I haven't really overcome that yet. So
it's still a challenge.
But yeah, it's definitely an ongoing challenge, I would say, starting my own business and dealing with the struggles of ups and downs and inconsistency. Hardest challenges you've overcome.
That's a good one. Your business, I think.
Yeah, but I haven't overcome it yet.
Well, yeah, but it's an ongoing challenge. I think like the challenge of even just starting your own business. I think
making the decision to not go for a corporate job, I guess, in an office, and to take that step to go all in, because that's really what you have to do.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Do you plan on having kids soon? Question. I'll leave that to you.
Why? That's like
well, you're the one.
You
would be the one having the kids,
and you're just there, right?
I play the male portion. You know?
You're just like yes, no, yes, no.
Plant the seed.
Having them, yes. Soon, no. Well, it depends how you define soon, I guess. In the next 10 years, yes. But not in the next 2, I guess.
We got Richard French. Hey, man, welcome to the chat. It's all good that you're late. It's great that you're here. So that's awesome. There was another question in the chat that I lost. Oh, yeah, for those brand new to vlogging, can you get by with just a Samsung for video? So Nellie just got a Samsung
S10.
That's the S10.
And I'm still playing with the video. I have used some of the video footage in my latest video, in case you noticed. Probably not, because I didn't even really notice. And it worked great. So I think it's possible. You would probably have to get some sort of gimbal for it, or yeah. I don't know how the microphone works, actually. I'm not sure about that, because I only used it for B-roll. But that would be a good question. But you could also use a lav mic, I guess.
Yeah, lav mic. Michael Lawless, what's up, man? Super happy to see you in the chat. My answer to Chiseled in Time Photography, Mr. Chad, about the vlogging. Yeah, man, of course you can use it to vlog, especially if you get a gimbal for your smartphone. The audio quality is probably not going to be great, but the video quality is great, and if it's stabilized, then it's totally fine. You're not going to get the same depth of field that you get with a DSLR, but for starting vlogging, something like the DJI Osmo Pocket or the Samsung phones are perfect, man. They're totally fine for beginning. Yeah, I would suggest that if you want to start vlogging, the learning curve is like really high. It's hard to get going, but once you get more comfortable, you really start learning quickly. And once you get a bit like higher on that learning curve, that's when you can jump into real cameras with different lenses for vlogging. But yeah, great question. How do you guys deal with your taxes? I know that's coming from an Italian. We deal with our taxes in Germany. So I have a permanent residency in Germany, and my business is registered in Germany, as is yours as well. So, and luckily for us, and this is very lucky, and not a lot of people have this, your dad, Nellie's dad, is our accountant for our separate businesses. So he's an accountant as his #1 business, and he deals with like farmers and other businesses. And then he's taken us on as clients separately. So we pay our taxes via the German Schleswig-Holstein state, essentially. Oh. Yeah. Does Tim Hortons sell mate?
No, they don't.
10 points.
They should, though.
Oh, man. Hilarious. How did you guys find the Traverse event? Through Michael Ball, who's a friend of mine. Well, we've known each other for a long time. He was in the chat. Do you think
that's the question, or is the question how we liked it?
No. Oh, right. I don't know. Huh. Yeah, true. We liked it a lot. Yeah, it was good.
Definitely.
How we found out about it, which is what I thought the question was through Michael Ball.
Brand.
And Greg Brand, who asked us to speak at Keyframe. Asked me. Sorry, that's right. But you're my support, so I can do without you.
Snelly,
All right, keep the questions coming. Hello from California. What's up, Jeff? If you just had one lens, what would you have?
Can we just quickly keep to that question of the nomad lifestyle? Because I have a couple of questions on my Instagram that I wanted to answer. And they're in German, so I'm going to translate them for you.
Okay.
So one would be, the taxes was one, so we already answered that. And the other one was, are you registered in Germany, and do you have bank accounts? Yes, we do in Germany. You also have a Canadian one.
Okay,
and I have 2 German ones, I think. Yeah, so that would be.
You need a bank account to run your own business.
Yeah, exactly. And then apart from that,
Whoa, Inti.
there was a question about
Crazy
YouTube.
question.
How we are making money and how YouTube pays us for making videos and Instagram pays us for being on Instagram. They don't. That's the simple answer here. They don't, and
No.
YouTube doesn't really pay either.
Yeah, I mean, I make a bit of money on YouTube. I make about 200 euros a month with not that many views. I mean, I've got a great engaged audience. All the people in the chat right now, you guys are amazing. No, we don't make a lot of money from YouTube or Instagram. It's more of being able to get our work out there. It's more of a creative outlet to be able to share the lifestyle and the content that I produce.
Yeah, and like an online portfolio as well, in a way.
Yeah, Instagram's a good example of an online portfolio. I want to get back to Jeff's question about the lens.
Okay.
So if you could only have one lens, what would it be? 24 to 70, 2.8. That's the classic sort of all around. That would be my answer. If it got a little bit harder, the 100 to 400 f4. Okay, next. Have you ever had a tropical disease like malaria or dengue?
No.
No, but Brennan has, and that's a really interesting story. So if you know Brennan's channel, go and check that out because I think he made a video about it. How many subscribers do you think you would need for YouTube to be full-time and not take any side jobs?
Yeah.
Brian Bacale, that's a great question. I think, honestly, probably like 50,000.
Yeah, Brennan is there yet, so is he?
Yeah, YouTube's not his full-time job, though.
No, but it could be.
But it could be, yeah. But he's over at 100,000.
Yeah. It also depends on how much money you need, like how much you spend.
Yeah, if you live in Asia, probably not that much. If you live in Canada or in Europe, then you're probably going to need more.
For sure.
Yeah, you got to think of YouTube as not like, it's not like it's going to pay you well, right?
Like,
yeah.
Don't start YouTube as a career. That's the mistake.
Yeah, it's more of a creative outlet to grow a community exactly like what we've got here of like-minded people that are into the same sort of hobbies, landscape photography, videography, traveling, small business, entrepreneurship, and that we can share this information, Oh, Jeff says, I thought you would say 100 or 400, but that was my second answer, dude. We're on the same wavelength. Well done. Brian says, I only need 49,000. Nice. Good one.
Good. Yeah.
Greg would be at 50K if he was producing one video a week. What? I don't understand what that means, Phil. Would you be at 50K? I don't understand. Rename your question. Okay.
I think he means that it also depends on the frequency of your uploads. It's not only followers. That's actually a good point because YouTube doesn't pay you by the amount of followers. They pay you by the amount of views.
Yeah, and watch time.
Watch time.
Watch time is really important.
So if you're only uploading once a month, but you have 100,000 subscribers, you probably won't get paid that much. And then I think it also depends on the video content even. Mm-hmm. I've heard that some videos are better paid because they have content that are really related to gear, for example. Mm-hmm. So that YouTube has an easier way of putting out ads on your YouTube.
Did you guys know that? That's a really interesting point. That if you get like millions of views on a video about a phone, you are going to make more money because the AdSense has like a higher ranking for tech products than it does if you got 1 million views on like a stuffed animal, right? Or a coloring book. Yeah. So that I didn't know earlier, and that's really interesting and relatively good news for us because a lot of ours is about travel and video and photography. So
yeah, but travel is more difficult to market. I mean, some of you are probably travel bloggers, and you know that writing an article about travel doesn't have that much potential regarding making money, than a post about, I don't know, gear, or a post about insurance, or a post about
Brian says, thanks for pronouncing my name right. No worries, bud. That's a traveler for you right there. Back to the Instagram questions. This is a really good one that I've been thinking about recently, and I'd like to get your opinion on it right now in the live chat or the comments if you're coming to this late. Poppin' Fresh Panda, best Instagram handle ever, says, when will we see some Snelly merch? And that's an interesting question because merch is something that that I definitely have considered for a while, and I want to throw it out there to see what you guys would actually be interested in.
Yeah.
And my first like really good idea for a piece of merch is a thermos. Nice one. Put her on the spot. I would love to create a thermos to keep things hot, like coffee and tea, which I use in the field every single day. It's one of my staple pieces of kit, and it's really cheap to make. And I'm sure I could like mass produce them in Germany and maybe put something on the side that says like "Let's go."
Yeah, but a really good one, like one that actually keeps the water and coffee hot. Yeah. Like we both travel with one of those, and it's just key.
So
like I would not want to miss that.
So good. So that'll probably be the first piece of merchandise. Will be a thermos that says "Let's go." Yeah. Back to the questions here. Do you want to pick one? Michael Ball, welcome back. Welcome back. You missed us shouting you out earlier.
Did you create your YouTube intro yourself?
Ooh, can I not answer that question? No, I didn't. I sourced that out to a girl named Alice. She did a fantastic job. I love that intro.
Yeah, that's great.
I've been using it for a long time. Obviously, I don't want to change it at all. I absolutely love it. So no, I contracted that.
I wish we could play it right now.
Yeah, but great question. That's a tough one. A hoodie, David. No, come on, man. Who needs a hoodie? We live in the summer.
Have you guys recovered from the helicopter trip yet?
Did you see that in Brendan's video? I bet you did. That was hectic, man. He stalled the helicopter just like a drone, the pilot, and then went straight down. It was really cool. Yeah. Luckily, none of us puked. Philip Ammon, who's in the chat right now, was in the helicopter
He says, no, I haven't recovered.
Yeah, he was so hungover. Hilarious. Dude, hilarious.
It was great, though. It was definitely great. For me, it was my first helicopter flight.
Michael Ball says, when will you launch the Snelly Vision channel? Never. Hilarious.
It just doesn't sound good either, like Snelly.
Stoked for Saturday. Yes, guys, that's amazing. It's so cool to see you in the chat. I hope you're still loving the Maritimes. I've lost your question now. What do we got? Thanks for the lunch break. Nice. That's so cool that you grew up around Lake Huron, man. Very, very cool. Jordan, right? I think it is Jordan. Stoked for Saturday. I met those guys out in Sri Lanka like 3 years ago.
Cool. Great.
Yeah, really cool.
Welcome.
Welcome. I want to go back into the chat now. I'm missing all these
comments, right?
The questions. Would you ever run a video photography workshop in the UK? Good question, Rich. Yes.
We would, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
Especially if Michael Ball helps organize it.
Yeah, there's definitely beautiful parts there. I know, for example, the Lake District, anyone been there, is really beautiful. Would be for photography. You're not listening to me, are you?
No, I'm reading. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Lake District. I'm actively not listening. Yes, she's right. Lake District would be perfect. Or Scotland. Scotland would be amazing.
Ireland, maybe.
Yeah, or even Ireland with the Irish Photography Podcast in tow and my perfect Irish accent. So Phil, I got back to your question. You mentioned that you need 50,000 subscribers. Is that meaning that you're making one video a week with that many subscribers? Or would you need to increase the frequency of posts? To get to 50,000, I think it would definitely not hurt to increase the frequency. Mm-hmm. I think daily vlogging really helps grow your channel quite quickly, but it's at the sacrifice of mental health and well-being. Obviously, some people can do it, but I don't think I'm up for daily. I've tried it a couple times, and I can do it for, say, like 10 days in a row, but after that, it's tough. And you really need, like, consistent content, too. You know, it's hard to – you have to have a plan for daily, and that plan should last you at least a month. So, yeah it's a lot. That's when it becomes a full-time job. To get to 50,000, if you've got an engaged community, then you shouldn't need to make anything more than 2 videos a week, I don't think.
Well, it's still going to take a while.
Yeah, especially now. Like, look at my channel is growing super slow, but the engagement and the watch time is really good. So I'm not too upset about the slow growth in 2019. It's more about building this community. You know, we've been live for almost 45 minutes, and we've still got a really, really engaged comment section here with some incredible people watching from all over the world. Great. That's what it's about, right? So Michael Ball says Snowdonia, which is in the UK. That could be a good spot. Absolutely. So yeah, let's keep the Q&A going. We've been live for 45 minutes. We don't want to keep it much longer. Definitely under an hour.
Traveling Tristan is asking maple syrup or
German beer. Oh man, German beer all the
Maple
way.
syrup all the way.
Tristan,
100%.
nice to see you, by the way, dude. It's good that you're in the chat. Yeah, okay, let's go back to the Instagram. Got a question from David Mora, who's from Argentina. Or no, from Chile. We met him in Chile when we were down in Patagonia. He says, what filters would you use? And is there any brand that you would recommend? I currently use Lee filters, but recently I've been contacted by Benro, which is a tripod company, and they've started making filters. And they were asking if I'd be interested in trying them. I am. I don't know if they're going to send them to me. That communication kind of went dead. So if Benro's watching this, I'd love to try your filters. But currently I use Lee filters, and I'm really happy with them. They're great for landscape photos. David sent us $2. Dude, that's awesome. Wow, thank you. Kicking in for a Snelly hoodie with a panda on it. Are you popping Fresh Panda? I think you are. Best Instagram handle. Amazing. So yeah, let's say we got another 5 minutes. If you're still watching and you've got some questions, throw them in the chat. We don't want to keep this too long. It's been a really great conversation already. We're live from Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, where my parents live. Nellie and I have been here for 2 days. Congratulations to the Toronto Raptors on their big win. And we're here because my grandmother turned 97. So we were here to celebrate that with her. Amazing accomplishment that she's still kicking and here with us at 97 years old.
Yeah.
And then we're here to help my parents move. They've both retired this month, June, and they're moving from Oshawa to Lake Huron, which is a beautiful part of Canada. And we're going to be helping them do that because it's kind of a big life change. And I guess you guys know it's important that we're here to support that.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here. So
I wanted to answer Chris's question about how do you guys plan your day too, which I thought was a good question. So I think as much as we travel, we also still, whenever we're not traveling, try to have a bit of a routine, I guess, to keep the productivity going. And everybody who's in like a similar position like we are probably knows that it's really difficult to have a routine or to be productive like in a normal office if you don't have an office or if you're traveling constantly. So I think for us, it's really important to have a bit of a routine. And for me personally, it starts with the morning workout and then breakfast and then a couple of hours of work.
Yeah.
And then, go from there, depending on how much work I've left throughout the day. But then I usually go for another coffee in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And then dinner and then Netflix and then sleep.
And rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Well, that's the simple answer. But for you, it's definitely getting up and then
coffee,
rolling around in bed for an hour.
Okay, let's not turning off
the alarm.
Let's not get into my routine.
And then coffee. Yeah.
All right. So got a couple of things coming in right near the end. Curtis shouting out stoked for Saturday. Good on you, Curtis. Those guys are great. What's your best tip for someone who wants to start a community and putting out vlogs on YouTube? So I made a whole online course about that. And I think the best tip, when you really break it down, is consistency and quality.
And just create.
More than one.
Yeah.
Like anything in life, you have to take a bit of a risk. If you're changing jobs, if you're putting yourself out there on the internet, if you're looking to create videos and start vlogging, it's all about staying consistent and being creative and having like good quality and sharing your knowledge. So that's what I did with the online course. I decided to try and monetize the knowledge that I had about an introduction to YouTube, and that's there. It's on there now. So yeah, the trick I think is just doing it and staying consistent.
Yeah, and also I think another tip is not to compare yourself to others, which comes.
Hard.
Yeah, it is super hard. Yeah. But it's so important that, especially if you're starting off as a YouTuber or blogger or whatever, that you don't fall into that trap of wanting to be up there right away and comparing yourself to others. Because if you do that, then you won't necessarily find your own style and it's going to be way more difficult to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike and Emily Bygrave. My wife is from Peterborough. No way. Peterborough is really close to Oshawa. Oshawa is also known as the Dirty Schwa, if you didn't know that. So close to our hearts in the heartland of Ontario is the Dirty Schwa. There's a question coming in, Nellie. Soccer or hockey?
Soccer, 100%.
Football and the
I love
Hamburg HSV specifically. But yeah, we're just at 50 minutes, so I think it's time to wrap it up. Very, very cool to see all of these people that we recognize. Jeremy, who's just jumped in. It's an amazing course. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I'm really happy to see you. Tony, Richard, thank you so much to everybody who's watching. Michael Ball for tuning in. Phil, it's great that we've got this kick-ass community on YouTube. And we want to say thank you, as always, for tuning in. The next video on my channel is on Sunday, and it's going to be about packing for Iceland, because Sunday evening I'm flying to Iceland for a Midnight Sun workshop where I'll be helping document that with Thomas Heaton. And I've got a whole bunch of clothes and gear that I'll be taking with me, and I want to share that with you in that video. Yeah. What's your next Sunday video?
I don't really want to give that away.
Surprise. So
It's got something to do with airports.
Okay, cool. So Nellie's next video on Sunday, be sure to check that out. And yeah, thanks as always for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Is there anything you wanted to say?
No. Other than thank you.
Yeah.
I already said that.
Yeah, exactly. So let's end it as we always do. Thank you so much for watching.
We hope you like this video.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye.